Chesapeake looks outside the United States. The oil industry still looks good for Roughnecks, and a biofuel producer looks at algae. All this and more on today's Energy Scout News. Hello and welcome back once again to Energy Scout News and Information. I'm Reb Byers. Chesapeake Energy's gone international with Norway's Statoil Hydro. The companies will develop unconventional natural gas assets in China, Ukraine, and Romania. This is Chesapeake's first venture outside the United States. Statoil will also pay $3.38 billion for 33% stake in Chesapeake's gas assets in the Marcellus Shale of Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and New York. Independent producers are looking to the future with a little belt tightening. As XTO Energy Chairman Bob Simpson put it, cash flow at the moment is king. In the last few years, largest companies outspent their cash flow by nearly 150%. But that's not an option with today's plunging gas and oil prices. Chesapeake's Chairman Aubrey McClendon has already vowed the company will only spend what cash it has on hand for the next 2 years. And rather than looking for new acquisitions, analysts are saying the independents are much more likely to drill what they've got. Even with global economies shrinking and companies looking for ways to cut costs, offshore drillers are still aggressively recruiting new employees. It's a shortage of specialized labor that promises to get worse before it gets better, and drillers plan to erect 180 new offshore rigs over the next 3 years all over the world. And every new offshore drilling operation requires roughly 200 workers. Salaries for the most sought-after positions have risen about a third over the past 4 years, and the companies are offering six-figure salaries, signing bonuses, and job training programs. Now, not all jobs are offshore. Some roughnecks are headed up north. But first, a look at today's new contracts. U.S. Underwater Services has landed 2 Nepsis repair projects in the Gulf of Mexico worth $10 million. Alaska Pipeline Service Company has awarded a contract to Energy Solutions International for monitoring software on the Trans-Alaska Pipeline System. And finally, Acre Solutions has signed a $23 million deal with Murphy Exploration and Production to provide subsea trees, control systems, and steel tube umbilicals. Go north, young man. That seems to be the call for some Texas and Oklahoma roughnecks these days. They're headed to Parshall, North Dakota to look for what else? Oil. The Parshall oil field sits on Bakken Shale Formation, and no one is sure how much oil is there, but the wells are popping up all around town. About 400 people own mineral rights under Parshall, and it's all been leased. NRG Energy has rejected Exelon's $6 billion takeover bid. NRG said the offer had significantly undervalued its operations, but the company remains open to a deal at the right price. NRG CEO David Crane said Exelon's bid would need to be roughly half again as much. Exelon plans to pursue the takeover, but the company said it will not sweeten its offer. Solix Biofuels will break ground early next year on a 5-acre algae farm to produce what is known as biocrude. That will be then shipped to an oil refinery in place of crude oil. Now, researchers like algae because it easily converts sunlight and carbon dioxide into a hydrocarbon fuel. That produces an oil that can be harvested for biodiesel. Now, Solix plans to get as much as 3,000 gallons an acre each year. Now, by contrast, soybeans are the main source of biodiesel in the United States, and they only produce 50 to 70 gallons per acre. And that's it for today's Energy Scout News. For more information on these stories and more, be sure to check out the news section on our site. And remember, if you have any news tips from around the energy industry, you can email us at news@energyscout.com. And as always, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.